Hello, everyone. Hey, Ovevekuve. This one, I read terrible Ovevekuve. It's not a funny kind of Ovevekuve. Tinubu has really gone haywire. He's really on a mission to absolutely destroy our country. The country that he met that is already fragile, Tinubu wants to finish it all. Tinubu thinks that this is military where he can be a dictator, a wannabe tyrant, a wannabe dictator who rigged his way into office, who couldn't even convince people enough to vote for him. He's sitting down there trying to destroy our democracy, destroy the fabric of our nation. Armed security personnel invaded NLC headquarters. Imagine, heavily armed security personnel in mufti and uniform are alleged to have invaded the Pascal Bafia Labour House, the headquarters of the Nigeria Labour Congress, at about 8 p.m. on the evening of August 7th. An eyewitness who was at the Labour House told National Record that I'm reading from a newspaper called National Record, told National Record that the security personnel broke into and ransacked the Iva Valley bookshop, carting away books. According to the eyewitness who pleaded anonymity, some of the security personnel alleged that they invaded the bookshop, ransacked and carted away books, claiming that they were being used to incite and organize the recent protests. This is what Hitler did, though. When Hitler was starting with Germany, was to start carrying books, burning books and all of that. That's what Tinubu wants to bring to Nigeria. I don't even know what is wrong with that man. You rig election, yet you're unable to do anything with it. You're just there. Hey! The personnel were also said to have invaded the 10th floor of the building. Armed security men, both in uniform and mufti, invaded the Labour House in their numbers and were at the 10th floor and 2nd floor. They broke into the 2nd floor, ransacked books at the bookshop, carrying all the materials into their van, claiming that the materials were used to incite this. So this is where this particular newspaper stopped in terms of the then we come down to Daily Trust. Daily Trust also, reported on this, but in the case of Daily Trust, they were reporting on they were reporting on what the labor officials then said, their response to it. And then this is what it says. Say even military didn't raid our offices. NLC knocks FG over police raid. The Nigeria Labour Congress NLC has described the raid on its office as a new low in operation of security operatives, Daily Trust had reported. Daily Trust had reported how the police raided headquarters of the Congress NLC over allegations that members of the organized labor sponsored the End Bad Governance protest. How did Labour sponsor the bad governance protest? Citizens sponsored themselves. Hunger sponsored it. I mean, this person, area father had given the things that sponsored the protest. So I don't understand. The banditry, the bad governance, the suffering, all of these things are the sponsors of the protest. So how, in what way are they going after NLC and say that the NLC, they are the ones that did this protest, they are the ones sponsoring the protest? Some labor leaders who spoke to Daily Trust on Wednesday night said main officials had left when the operatives stormed the building. One of the labor leaders said he spoke to a private security guard attached to the building on phone and confirmed that the marks of operatives with assaulted rifles raided, the office. He said the guards told him that the operatives went directly to the 10th floor of the building where the office of the NLC president, Joe Ajero, is located. The official added that the guard confided in him that the marks operatives later came back to 2nd floor where some offices belonging to NLC are located. Reacting in a statement, Comrade Benson Upa, head media and public relations of the NLC, condemned the act. This evening at about 8:30 p.m., long after the close of work, a troop of heavily armed security operatives invaded the Labour House, Central Business District Abuja, which serves as the national headquarters and secretariat of the Nigeria Labour Congress. The security operatives, sworn from the Nigerian Police Force, 4. Some wearing black t-shirts, presumably from the Department of State Services, DSS, and others on outright mufti, swooped on the 10th floor of the NLC and arrested the security operative on duty and then commandeered him to the second floor where he was asked to produce the keys to the office. This is the thing. DSS is sitting down. Terrorists are coming live on TikTok, talking, bragging. Yet DSS cannot go and locate them and arrest them. It's to go after. No, I just don't even. Let me go back to reading. When he told them that he had no such keys on him, they broke into the 10th floor and ransacked the bookshop on the second floor, cutting away hundreds of books and other publications. The invading troop claimed that they were looking for seditious materials used for the end bad governance protest. The material is Tinubu now. Tinubu is the one causing the thing while people are on the street. You know how it takes when we keep telling people you need to protest on issue, you need to protest. It took Tinubu to come and use hunger to wire people's faces and reset them to factory setting, that they came on the street on their own. People are coming on the street on their own, not waiting for anything. You'll be talking to people to come on the street. Someone will tell you, how much will you pay me? I'm like, for your own good governance, stay there. And now hunger don't wire everybody. Now Tinubu can't put people for that street. The Nigerian Labour Congress condemns in its entirety this new law in security operations in Nigeria. The armed security operatives showed no legal document permitting them to invade the premises of the Nigerian Labour Congress in the ungodly hours of the night. Even in the dark days of military rule, NLC secretariats were never raided and ransacked by security agents. Today, it is indeed a very sad day for our democracy. Honestly, it's really a very sad day for our democracy, and Tinubu is doing everything he can to destroy the fabrics of our democracy. Uja said the invasion occurred hours after the National Executive Council of the NLC took note and condemned the high-handed manner that security agents manhandled protesters in many parts of the country and the needless bloodshed that ensued. We also condemn the sweeping mass arrest of those perceived to have led the protest. That the NEC also frowned at the reckless use of treason to describe the protest and demanded for moderation. What we did not see coming was the invasion of the Labour House by masked and heavily armed security operatives hours later. They don't even think that somebody should be afraid of them. People that we see terrorists now, they will run, that we turn to like chicken. So what's it that they are going to do? Put bullet in somebody's head, somebody dies, and is that not what the terrorists are also doing? In the light of the foregoing and the ominous sign it portends for democratic rights, freedom of speech and association, and the unimpeachable right of citizens to protest peacefully on any issue they feel strongly about, we call on the international community to take note of the deterioration of democratic principles in the bid to turn Nigeria into a police state. Given the experience of the leadership of the NLC in recent times at the receiving end of the naked brute force of the state, especially the near daylight assassination of the NLC president by security operatives and thugs, our fears of a Nigerian state that is descending into enforced brutality are well founded. We fear that the situation might deteriorate. Given the state of things, the Nigerian Labour Congress has directed all its staff to stay away from the Labour House for now until we are certain that there are no incriminating materials or harmful substances dropped in our offices by the invading operatives. In order to allay our fears, we demand an international inquiry into this very traumatic, invasion. Finally, we demand the immediate withdrawal of the troops of invading security agents from the premises of the Labour House Abuja. We also demand that all the books and materials carted away by the invading security operatives should be returned unfailingly to where they were taken from before the end of work on 8 August 2024. We make this demand given the illegality of the operation, as there was no court order for the invasion, ransacking, and looting of the publication. As Tinubu no go school now, you want me everybody be like him. And guess what? Days after the NLC invasion by Tinubu's armed security operatives, Another one also happened, and Amnesty International here did a series of tweets where it says Amnesty International is deeply concerned by the unlawful invasion of the Ikeja Lagos office of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights (CDHR). These coming days after NLC headquarters were ransacked is a dangerous dimension to the attacks on freedom of association. Now the Office of the Human Rights Defenders is under the siege of dozens of heavily armed policemen, soldiers, and other security personnel. The Nigerian authorities must investigate this incident and give directive to the security personnel to immediately vacate the office. The violent crackdown on protesters against hunger nationwide since 1st August, trailed by attacks on civil society organizations, are a worrying indication of Bola Tinubu's government, illegitimate government as far as I'm concerned, utter disregard for human rights and determination to crush dissent. The dwindling civic space in Nigeria is set to create a toxic climate of fear that may put activists, human rights defenders, civil society organizations, and journalists in danger. Hey, Tinubu. Oh my show. See what you've descended into. A wannabe tyrant.